Hey friends, happy Wednesday. So Spencer and I just got back from Gatlinburg yesterday. We had so much fun. We went down there on Friday and I skied for the very first time, which is pretty surprising because I never wanted to do that before. And then we ended up going to Nashville on Sunday after we checked out, which was awesome because I am such a country music fan. So we saw the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. We got to see a lot of live bands perform. And then we ended our road trip in Louisville, where one of Spencer's friends lives, and we stayed with his wife and son and him, and then came back, and Spencer got a haircut on our way back into town. So we came back around 5:30 and went to choir at 7, so it was a little crazy, but it was worth it, and I had so much fun. And I went on a hike and did not see a bear and did not get attacked by a bear, which just means that that's a successful hike. I would have wanted to see a bear, like a baby cub, and Spencer's like, well, good thing there's life insurance on you. I don't know. You can't get too close to a bear, obviously, but from a distance, I could have taken a picture of one, so I was kind of bummed I didn't get to do that. But anyways, I know I took a few days off since my first video, and that's because we were away. So now I am wanting to do another video for my series, and I just really pray that this reaches somebody. And I had a lot of positive feedback on the first one, and I thank you guys for that. I really try to use this as a platform of sharing God's word with you, the things that I've learned throughout my life, more especially recently. And I got this really cool book while we were at the Christ in the Smokies Museum, which was a Christ museum, and that was awesome. They had Jesus's life like depicted in different scenes and like a narrator. It was really awesome. So it's called How God Grows a Woman of Prayer. So this is a really cool book. I actually just started it today, and it's a devotional journal. So today's verse is, I no longer call you servants because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends. John 15:15. And reading through what it says about that and then writing my own prayer, I really believe that Jesus is the only true best friend that we can have through the relationship that we're able to access to him. And I was reading through it and how sometimes we have friends in our lives who only come to us when they need something. They need money, they need help with their children, they need food, and that's all great. We're supposed to provide those things for them, but when they only come to you for those reasons, to me, that's not the definition of a true friendship. It's almost like you're being used and you just don't know it. And that's happened to me multiple times because I am a very serving type of person. And, I just like to help people. And then you end up getting taken advantage of. But how many times have we done that to God? If we really sit there and think about it, we go to God only when we need something. Lord, please give me this job. Lord, please help my spouse to act this way, my boyfriend or girlfriend to act this way, my family to be like this. And then the more we start doing that, it just becomes like we're only going to God when we need something. And of course, we are told that we should submit all of our requests to God in prayer and thanksgiving and let that be known to him. We are supposed to go to him in prayer for help, but we can't just use him in a bargaining chip, oh, please give me this job and I'll act this way. It can't be like that. And I'm doing this video because I believe that this passage that I was reading in the book, in the journal, really convicted me that I've done that. I've done that before. Please give me the job that I really want, which in this season of life, that has happened because I currently do not have one. And I'm struggling with the thought of, well, am I supposed to stay home and work from home? Am I supposed to go to work full time? What if it doesn't happen? And it's so easy to go to the what ifs and the questions, but we really can't do that. And we can't say to God, oh, please give me this and do this for me. Of course, he wants to exceedingly bless us in every single way, but we have to do our part. We have to help God help us. So that means that faith without works is dead. I have to put in the work to achieve the goals that I want to achieve with my new job situation or anything else. I've been applying quite a bit, and it's been probably the last like 5 or 6 months since even before the wedding. And I'm like in a holding period, in a season of just waiting it out because it's not happening. And I'm like, well, God does know better than me that I'm not supposed to just accept anything, that there's something better out there, and he knows that. So he's not just going to let me settle for something that's going to be less than his best for me. When you're in that season and you're in that period, you just want anything, and you want it when you want it. And I think that's a sense of control. And that's something that I've prayed God to help me unleash, is my control over things. I'm a very strictly type A personality. Everything has to be the way that I want it. Well, that could very well be why I am where I am and in this season, because there's some circumstances where I have not fully surrendered to God. And that's where I was convicted by this journal entry today, because I can't just go to him when I'm begging for something. And I hope that this is encouraging to you guys, that we've all done it. We've all been there. But when we change our approach and attitude and say, Lord, I just pray for your will to be done in my life and not my will. It's your will is the only perfect will. And if it's for me, bless it. If it's not, block it. And I remember saying that multiple times when there would be job opportunities, or before I was married, when there would be guys in my life. And I even prayed that prayer when Spencer and I first got reconnected last year, when I was like, I'm extremely guarded, and if this man is not my husband, take him from me. And God did not do that. He just kept popping up and popping up. And, you have to go to him in prayer, because that's the closest connection we have. But you have to be able to listen and willing to listen to what God is going to say to you as well. It's one thing just to go to him and say all of this stuff, and then you don't listen, and that's another place that God convicted me on, is I pray and pray and pray, but do I listen for the reply? So, that's where discernment and wisdom comes in to play. We have to pray for discernment and pray for wisdom. So we want the kind of relationship with someone who not only needs us, but loves us. And God is that source. He is that friend that will never leave you, never forsake you, never turn his back, never stab you in the back. And we've all been there. I mean, I've lost quite a few friends throughout the last few years. I only have a couple of friends from when I was younger that stayed. And then it's been cycling in and out. And I'm just like, then I get reserved and I don't want to meet anybody, because I'm like, man, it just keeps happening where I get close to people and they choose to walk away. But God always knows better than we do, and that he will block that relationship if he knows it can only hurt you in the end, or if it's toxic. And we're not supposed to chase after the people that God removes, because there's a reason that he does that. And when I look back at, the last 3 years, God removed certain people to put me where I am now, to put me at the church I'm at now, to put me with my husband, to put me in the circle of friends I do have. And it was hard, it was hurtful, it was painful. One of the hardest things I ever did. As you guys know, I've talked about that in former videos. But the recovery process has been incredible, that God has gotten me through that, because I never would have thought, while I was going through all that 2 years ago, that I'd be married now. But God was like, you will be. He knew where my husband was, and I would pray for him every single day and say, wherever he is, bless his heart, bless his soul. I pray for him, and when the time is right, our souls will meet. And they did. So it's just about God's timing. And I hope this can encourage you that, we don't want to be those people who only go to God when we need something, because we are his friends, and he is our Father and the best friend we could ever imagine having. So, when I did my reflection, which was on this part of the journal, I repented and really wrote about surrendering my life and surrendering what's been going on, that I have not been praying that way, and I should be. And we all fall short, and we can't kick ourselves and get mad at ourselves, because that's a foothold for the enemy, who wants us to be in despair and condemnation. But for those who are in Christ, there is no condemnation. There's freedom, and there is, we get convicted. There is conviction, not condemnation. There is a big difference. So I plan to do this more often, probably make it an everyday thing, because this book has been very encouraging, and I'm only on the first page. So thank you guys so much for all of your advice, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'll be posting this to my YouTube channel. It's Katrina Leone. I haven't really figured out how to change it to Katrina Farrar, but that's okay. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share this with those you think might need it, through messages or whatever you guys might want to do. Just, it helps spread the word. And, I'm here to be a light for Christ wherever I go, and I'm here to represent him in every way. I'm not going to be perfect at it, because only Jesus is perfect. He was perfect and sinless. We're not going to be that, but we can aspire to be like him no matter where we are, because we represent him in every way. Character, just our heart. We need to remember that we represent him. So I hope you guys have a great day. I have some cleaning up to do from coming back from vacation, and it's snowed, so I was like, I'm going to stay here for most of the day. Good day to kind of unload stuff, but be careful if you're traveling out there. Stay warm. I was in Tennessee in my winter gear, and it was like 30-something degrees, almost 40, and I was freezing cold, and people would say, where are you from, you guys? And I'd say Cleveland, Ohio, and they're like, you guys should be in bathing suits. And I'm like, I am way colder here. They call it mountain nip. Nippiness in the air. I don't know, but I was way colder there than I was here. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. And like I said, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and God bless you, and I'll be praying for all of you. Have a great day. Bye.